Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. The west side, raise it up. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up.
Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Wyann, Vaughn, also known as Y, and this is another outstanding edition of Raise It Up, Y, the podcast. We are coming at you the last Thursday of June 2020. If you're watching on YouTube, first of all, thank you. Also, the cat's out of the bag. You see that I have a guest today. And if you are listening on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify or wherever you might be listening to it, number one, thank you yet again that you like, subscribe, comment, share, repost, retweet, any of what we do. As well, you all will be very, very, very pleased to know that this is going to be one of those episodes where it's unpredictably amazing because we have a guest that is related to me by blood. And this gentleman is called Papa Groove, Daddy Groove, as we some call him. And he is my Faja, my dad, Wayne Vaughn. This is our second edition of Meet the Parents in an episode we are calling none other than Let's Groove. He didn't know. Our self-awareness question that we'll be answering is, we're going to be asking it to Dad, and we're going to be talking about it, the episode. What is the groove, and how does one stay in it? And that's a two-part question. So two-part question to our self-awareness episodes all this year of 2020. Again, we're making sure that we have a clear vision of whoever is in the mirror, because it doesn't make sense that you can see everything and everyone else in this world if when you look in the mirror, you have question marks where there should be periods, all right? So before we get in, of course, we are going to ground ourselves. Of course, yes, I have the training of a therapist. While I'm not practicing per se, you could take the girl out the therapist chair, but you can't take the therapist out the homegirl. Thank you very much. So when we do this grounding, of course, is a technique to make sure that we're here. We are in the physical, mental, spiritual place that we think we all are. It's very obvious that in a time like we've been experiencing, at least when we've taped this episode, the world is still feeling a little fragmented, even though we're going through times that have humanized us and made us recognize we are all more similar than different. All right. So if you are driving, because at this time we probably are able to drive way more often, please keep your eyes open. But if you're doing anything else, I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and take a moment to be here with me. Hear my voice. Feel your feet. Wiggle your toes. Touch on your nose and just recognize that you're here. Breathe a breath in. Blow a breath out. Again, do that in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just take a moment to own this miracle that we call life, that you are breathing and that you are winning just by living this life, just by spending this time with my voice right now. You're investing into your betterment. I'd like you to sit with that and feel proud. And welcome. Let's go up, ladies and gents. Let's go up. We're in the world. Today, we have a couple segments. We have a high wire, we have a get raised, and if Dad is so giving, we might even have a do-a-ditty from the master of the groove. You don't know what any of that means, so don't worry about it.
Hey, look.
These are our little personnel words for my.
Do what you do, all right?
So let's start with our high wire. We usually do these last, but I figured come out the gate with it so we can spend all the time with Dad that we have. Hashtag High Y comes from a gentleman on Instagram called @the_scholar spelled with an X where there should have been an O. So @THE.SCHXLAR. So this is to you, Mr. Scholar. Do you have any advice for someone who is on the introverted side, but also makes music, lyrical music? And I'm a 100% extrovert. I don't know. Dad, what do you test as? Do you test as an extrovert, like 100%? Or do you have like
I'm an
symbiosis?
extrovert.
An introvert. So both. They call that something. You know. Say it again.
Ambivert?
An ambivert. Yeah, you're an ambivert.
Well, there was one of those things in the book, you know,
Yeah.
that you do the test.
Do you have
And
more
they-
of a percentage on one though? Did you notice?
Would no, because, you know, I can be out there and
Yeah.
I can be in there. And I'm comfortable with both. So
Yeah.
I don't like necessarily, you know, when I'm supposed to be out, I
Right.
might be in. And when I'm supposed to be in, I might be out.
Right.
So,
just depending on
It
the
just
situation.
depends on the situation. What I try to do at the right situation, for the right time, for the right reason, for the right, you know. just
Yeah.
keep it in contents or in context.
I would say, so far as being a creative, I test 100% extrovert. I think I have like 3 introverted moments per year. And I don't know when they are, but my extroversion usually keeps me, and just for anyone who doesn't know, because, you know, we're educators here. Dad has a degree from UCLA. I have degrees from Long Beach State. And as an educator plus an entertainer, I never want anyone to feel lost in the conversation. An introvert, by definition, just depending on where you look, sociological definition is an individual who gains his or her mojo for life, their zest for life, their energy to do what they do. An introvert gains that in solitude. They gain that when they are alone, and they gain that from within. An extrovert, exact opposite. They get their best ideas out in public or out amongst a crowd of people. They get their zest for life. They get, you know, their energy being out and about and around people. Like I say, I test 100% extrovert, but for creativity, I can be inspired while being out and around people, but to cultivate it, like to finish an idea, I actually do need to be.
You need to be
I need to be
inside. You need to take a moment to listen.
Yeah.
Because the music, the thoughts, the script is always moving up there.
Yeah.
So if you're in a situation that you can't let that flow come in you,
Right.
and then you have other debris, it's like your brain is in a hurricane or something. It's,
Yeah.
you know, you need to be still waters run deep kind of thing.
Smart Dad.
And then when you let it go down, you go, whoa, this is deep.
Yeah.
And then you come up for the breath of fresh air.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Now you got your idea, you running with it.
Yes.
And then when you want to share it, then that's where you can use your idea to be an extrovert to bring people into the situation.
Yeah.
Because especially within the music business, you got to have a little bit of both, but then you have some people that's really, you know, laid back, and I know a lot of them, but those people, they're sometimes I call kind of like a genius kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't use that term, you know, too loosely.
Not
I've
at
only
all.
known about, and on one hand,
One hand. Absolutely.
that of a true, what I would call a genius, and
Right.
it's like
Right.
musically or mathematically or scientifically,
Mm-hmm.
they on another, even, you know, especially spiritually, but
Yeah.
they are on another plane and just look like laws of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So you get what you put out, you know. So you put out a lot of negativity, you're gonna get it right back.
That
it's like a
part.
mirror.
Yes.
So you reflect you. So you gotta always remember to give what you want to get back.
Yes.
You reap what you sow. All that kind of stuff is as true as we're sitting here, and as tangible as this couch or your little
Right.
computer or
Right.
whatever. So you gotta always keep that in mind. But the extroverted part of you,
That's good for like performance, wouldn't you say?
Well, performance, and sometimes
networking.
Yes, all of that. Performance-wise, even, sometimes when you like performing, it's like, it's good to still have the butterfly kind of like.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm scared to do this. Not that kind of thing. I'm talking about like a little sort of anxiety to push you to another level of your performance.
Because that means, what would you say that means? That little feeling in the pit of your stomach?
It means you're a human being.
That part.
Okay? If you plan for, like we did sometime, plan for 90, 100,000 people.
Sure.
I mean, LA Coliseum. All you could see was heads at the funk festivals and stuff like that. Playing at San Diego Stadium back in the day.
Yeah.
Cool jazz festivals. A cigarette company could actually sponsor a festival.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, it's Cool Jazz.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. But it's just...
Cool is like the cigarette. Cool.
Smoke them like a cool.
Oh, MG.
Oh, okay. Fine.
That's crazy. Okay, no. So to the scholar yet again, I know that I get the question too, because I know that it seems like if you're an introvert, the music scene would it almost would seem like it's not in your comfort zone because you might feel out of place or things like that. I know so many more creatives. Now that I'm thinking about, I'm kind of like going over my landscape of people. I know so many more creatives, like really talented creatives, by the way, that are more on the introverted side than they are.
You will be. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
So, like, for an instance, the introverted creative type person is like, I always have a rule, like, when we were in playback or something, I wouldn't pat my foot. I wouldn't groove to it. I wouldn't nothing. When I play it, I just go. And everybody else going, oh man.
Yeah.
That's like.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give any energy out. So that could be me going back into introvertedness.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
if you're going to be an introvert, then let your shiznit speak for itself. So
I like that.
You don't have to even be who you're not, because another day I might feel like, man, that was some kind of bad shit.
Yeah. And you get to turn up.
That?
Yeah.
So you do that. But other than that, usually I'm just like, what's that? Oh, man, I don't know. It was a little something.
Right. And it come on
and
like,
let that go. And,
Yeah.
usually either from a groove point or definitely like a harmonic point with a simplistic melody that's going over some kind of, I like to do complex harmonies just because that's what I hear.
Where do you get your, and just, this is still answering your question, the scholar, just so you can hear how another creative thinks. And I know you said lyrical. We'll talk about that one in a second. Where do you, Terrace Martin said about Wayne Vaughn's harmonies, it's the most complexly simple, beautiful stuff, the closest thing to Herbie, but with groove that, indicative of the funk world and stuff like that. Your harmonies, he says, is they're not regular. Like a lot of like Kamasi or Kamasi Washington. Sorry, I'm talking about people like, I have to remember to say their full names, but Terrace Martin, Kamasi Washington, Stephen Bruner, known as Thundercat, Ronald Bruner Jr., all of these individuals who you guys all know, they are like sons, nephews, and mentees to my dad. So I will try to slow my brain down so I can make sure I remind myself to explain who I'm talking about. But everybody who I've played with, they'll be like, no, your dad's brain is on some different shit. Like it don't hear music in the exact same way as all of us. Where do you think you get these harmonics, melody? Where does that come from for you?
It's really like, well, of course, we are what we eat. So I listen to different types of music. So you absorb that, then you regurgitate it.
Yeah.
And then, good Lord, your creativity is when you can be quiet and you either driving a car, you either taking a shower, you either working out.
Right.
That's where melody comes. when you're not thinking about it. Because Q said one time, he said, well, boy, you know you can't stifle creativity. Huh?
Right.
You can't stifle creativity.
Right.
So creativity comes from wherever. I used to need a piano to write music. Now I don't need a piano to write music. I just write it in my head and then transcribe my head
onto the piano when you get back to it.
Yeah, I figure out the harmonics and then I'll place and then I'll manipulate it to be whatever we need it to be.
Outstanding.
So the thing about it is I listen to, of course, Herbie is my favorite.
Yeah.
But from my composition, a lot of Wayne Shorter.
Got it.
Because of his use of the common tonality.
Oh,
and
I love
to
that.
be funky, you can't have the melody jumping all over. And of course, coming from the jazz world,
right?
You want to write the melodic tendency to go with your chords. So I'm hitting 11th, 9ths, and 13s, and raised or flatted one of the notes, and I'm putting the melody on that, which the regular layman, he's not going to hear that. And he's like, did they go out of key? You know. So you try to keep it simple so Wayne Shorter could do it with harmonics.
Right.
So you would have a common tone like an E natural on the top, and you might have played 5 chords, and the melody just went E. You know, just
it's the same
it's
one.
It's the same note. Just like the Brazilian song.
Dad, that's what I was thinking.
That is the perfect song.
We're gonna play that at the end. We're gonna play that.
A simple comp. I had given that song to Flora Periman, Aerto, back in the 70s. Because I'd written it when I was 22.
I told Wendy 23. I knew I was close.
But 22 at UCLA, it was just something that came up. But I could not play that song performing-wise until I was like in my 30s.
That's crazy.
Every saxophone player, I mean the baddest cats, when we would play that song, especially if I wrote the chord changes out, it just messed them up even more. You gotta learn the song and hear it, because if you try to go with the
what you see
chord progressions, number one is like the chord progressions it moves too quickly.
Yes.
And then you'll try to play like do 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 do, and
it won't sound good.
Well, you're just playing what you practice.
Got it.
But you're playing like a melodic tendency now.
Yeah, yeah.
So soloing is singing. It's like ad-libbing. It's like you flowing.
Right.
It's supposed to sound like you sawing wood. You know?
Right, not choppy and
or
edgy
just
and
not
movie.
Just it's predictable. You don't want to do a solo and everybody can sing what you're about to play. Now, maybe sometime it's a different thing.
Right. Time and a place.
But then sometimes you give them something, they go, whoa. So, but that song is a perfect example of the melody moving in whole steps, half steps, and the harmonic is jumping all over the place. Matter of fact, it's modulating from chord to chord.
So question, is that song and ladies and gentlemen, I already know we're gonna play this at the end in the episode, so you guys will be able to hear a full example of what we're talking about. This is a song called The Brazilian Song off of my dad's jazz album, Three Generations of Groove.
It's just a CD. I don't know if I can call it a jazz album.
Well, I love it.
But see, it's like now, because the categories and stuff is so different, we had of that particular thing, we improvised over grooves. You know, we improvised. But
it's an album. We'll just call it it's an album.
But the thing about it is, it tried to be for that day. It was a long time ago. That's why we're doing something now. After we did that record, I was like, oh boy, okay, I got that out of my craw. Next, I didn't want to do another record ever.
Cause the music and the love of it, and this is still answering your introversion.
Well, you get close. You get close to it.
You get very close to it, and the music feels so good. Then the music industry / business of it all almost can sometimes feel like it take the fun out of it, or it just squeeze. You know, you got to ask yourself. One of my students told me in one of my classes, his mentor would tell him, "You always got to ask yourself: is the juice worth the squeeze?" And when I hear that, I always think about the effort and the energy and the time and the care of quality that you put into some of this, what we do with music now. Knowing what we do with the quality of music, especially not just in an introverted way, but just whoever you are, just when you put you into your music, just for somebody to be like, oh man, that shit was whack. And then what's the next song? Or what's the next album? It's like, that took me 18 months. You just, minimized,
See, and that's where the music creatively and the music business.
It gets ugly a little.
But the thing about it is, when we're going to the music business part, then that's what I call manipulating your talent. So you need to learn as much as to be known. Whatever you can learn about music, you need to know it, because I get challenges for all this, like that Haagen-Dazs commercial.
Yeah, sure.
That ain't what I was writing at the time.
Right.
But they wanted some Perry Como stuff.
And so you found your Perry Como parts of you.
Put on had Jeff Robinson do that, and he sound like...
sing his butt off, too.
But he sound like, like a Sinatra-ish. Yeah. Very smooth.
Velvety voice.
Velvety, Arthur Price sock, all the... So, you just... But that's a manipulation of your talent.
Yes.
You go...
Yes.
Well, I ain't turned down no money.
And see, and that starts to get in.
But that's for that. Yeah. Now, if it was some stuff that's out of my vernacular, then I have a crew of people to call and say, "Hey, man, I got this gig, but I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, this ain't me.
Y'all want to do it?
Go get that money."
Well, then it's like pass it along. I get more calls for people to do stuff. Not just music. Yeah. For whatever. From building a house to making clothes to cooking. True. To fixing cars. True. To whatever. Yeah. I get all kind of calls within a day. Medical calls. Yeah. Doctor calls.
And all of this is a part of the balance.
Well, that's because we want to round ourselves off. Right. Music is just one aspect of what we do. Right. Right. And being music, I wish I could just do one thing. I had to, y'all thought I was Jamaican.
I did.
Because I stopped saying three, I always say tree.
Tree, 2, 3 job. That's my dad.
2, 3 times a day, Mom.
Yeah. So to the scholar, I hope that this gave you some insight to the fact that you very well can, as a self-proclaimed introverted individual, make amazing music. And when it's time for maybe the networking side or the side that can juggle not just the music stuff, but also your regular everyday life, that type of stuff, I hope you realize that all of this is an extension of you as the individual, who and where you are, where you come from, and where you think you're going. Music business is a business. Make sure that you study it, introvert or not. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's pursuing this stuff called music, be clear on your intentions when you come and what you're looking for. I see that he's also said lyrical music. When you write your lyrics as a writer, and my dad is a songwriter as well, I love words. I'm an author. I'm a poet. I'm a motivational speaker, things like that. I would encourage you, play with words, study words, get dictionary.com on your phone, get real familiar with thesaurus.com on your phone or wherever you can find it. Play games. At the 1500 Sound Academy, I suggested to my students, they have these games on your phone where it definitely works your left brain because it's puzzles, so that works your logic, right? But on the artistic right side of your brain, it's almost like you see a word like art, A-R-T, but you manipulate it and it's also rat. And if you manipulate it is also tar. So it just, while you're definitely in your left brain, it kind of also plays with your right brain a little bit. And mind you, this is not because you're working on putting that in a song or anything, but just really live in words. I live in words. I really do. So I hope this is great for you. It was great for us. I didn't know that was going to come out of that. So that was a great portion. I loved it. Huh? I love that. Yes. And now we get to get into the loco-ness of the Faja of the groove himself.
Chris, help.
No, he ain't helping you, not today. Oh, yes. And my earrings are coming off, but they're going right back on. How about that? So, Dad.
Ma'am.
This
Just the
next
facts, ma'am.
section is called Get Raised. We have different portions of our show. And while we had our high Y that just happened, now we have our Get Raised section. This is the section of my show.
What does this?
You, as a pundit in the influencer world,
Oh, Lord.
you are going to not only raise the listeners' awareness of what you know, but you gonna school my black ass. So that's how we do this. You understand? Daddy Groove, aka Wayne Vaughn, is a composer, a songwriter, a father, a chef, a house builder, a bricklayer, a candlestick maker, and a Jamaican. No, he's not. He's definitely like 2/3 of those things I just said. But the most notable thing that my father has done is work with two sects of funketeers, maybe, if you will. One is the Brothers Johnson. And he toured with that group of under the tutelage of Quincy Jones. So earlier when he said Q, that was Quincy Jones that he was speaking about. He was with them for 6 years on the road. I tell people about my dad that he became a father, graduated from UCLA, and started his touring career with the Brothers Johnson within maybe 2 weeks about of each other. And I tell men that date me, this is why it's hard for me to accept excuses from any man. Because I come out of the balls of a man who can do it all. So,
oh, Lord.
How about that? There we go. So, when I think of my dad, I think of not only his contribution to music because of him starting out with, well, I'm going to let you talk about where you started out, and I'm going to tell you where I want you to start at. But most notably, Brothers Johnson with songs, if in case you guys are more familiar with songs than groups. Strawberry Letter 20, Strawberry Letter, that tomorrow will bring a better you, a better me. Get the funk out my face, get the funk out my face, and then stomp. Daddy almost did Kirk Franklin stomp. And stop. All right, you know. So these are very, very mega big hits that come from this wonderful
Don't forget,
group.
I'll be good to you.
I'll be good to you, good to you. I'm doing the harmony. I know that's not the.
I'll be good. I don't know. Don't get me to sing.
Yeah, that's the harmony.
Please.
That's the harmony.
Y'all done waited to no o'clock to do this.
Yes. No, I know it. I know I'm right. But once my daddy got to this chick called my mama, a.k.a. Miss Wanda Vaughn, a.k.a. at the time Miss Wanda Hutchinson, a.k.a. when they met on the road. And your fans, you and Mom's fans, have sent me the ticket stub from when you guys were on the same bill together, Brothers Johnson and Emotions. Mm-hmm. And that was, Dad, tell me, 76? 78. I knew that. It was 78. And so if I can find that, I'll post it, and it might be the artwork for this episode.
Oh, how cute.
No, I have it, because your fans have sent it to me.
Cute.
Dang it. It was cute. And then
that's so
off.
cute. Oh, that's so cute. You just had
How
it.
do I look? It look
You
good?
had it. That's look good. You just had it on the cropped on the back of like the Bowery Boys or something. Bowery Boys.
Wow.
Right.
What you think? Come down some more?
You look good.
Okay. Should I just put it back on? Because he said I look crazy.
Oh, Lord.
Daddy, you want it back on or no?
No, it's good. Whatever you want.
Okay. I can.
Whatever you want.
Whatever I like.
Whatever you like. I'll
Okay.
show you that.
So, thank you. Okay, my dad is making fun of me, and I like it. But no, so I'm telling you guys about the Daddy Groove, aka Wayne Vaughn. And once he met my mom, after touring with while touring with the Brothers Johnson, and my mom, of course, being Wanda Hutchinson at the time of The Emotions, they got together, and through my mother, my dad ended up meeting his brother in music for life, Mr. Maurice White, and they got together and created magic, especially most notably on the Raise album. That was their biggest album, am I wrong? Was Raise their biggest album?
Maybe.
It might be that on that album, it was Side by Side might have been the only one not on that album.
It was not on that album.
It was not on that album, but Let's Groove was number one on that album, like the first song I'm saying on that album. You had another one that I didn't know. It was a song called My Love. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the third one is our other one that we sing together. Wanna Be With You. So I think the album had 9 songs on it. So my dad wrote and produced 1/3 of that platinum selling, amazing, awesome, notable work to all music, not just black music and not just hip hop, because I'm trying to extend the conversation because these are all things that DJ Pooh, Dr. Dre, and Questlove have been telling me to make sure I don't limit the conversation. I got hit up to make sure that I didn't ruin these 2 interviews by these hip hop moguls, DJ Quick, and that's the other one, DJ Quick. So just so you guys know, I listen. Thank you. I'm not fucking it up. Thank you so much. But
my daughter.
I did my homework, and they said, "Don't think just because your dad that you could sleep, you can't sleep." I'm like, okay, thank you a lot. So now that I've rang off the credentials, I like to give, like DJ Battlecat just posted, you give people their flowers while they're still here. So I like to do that in front of my dad so that he don't have to read his own press clippings. Hello. And we'll talk about that later, because that's something that my dad says all the time. One of the Wayne's words of wisdom, probably the first WWW Wayne's words of wisdom. We have a few in this house, and one of those things is about not reading your own press clippings. I didn't know if you wanted to give your interpretation of what that means to the listeners. So, well,
as you know, when I told you guys that as young kids, there was none of this what y'all deal with. That's why, me and the social media thing has not married. No. Because that's where I'm an introvert. Okay?
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Social media for me is it's great, and if I was in, where you guys live and what you have to do, I would more than likely be in it and would be a cheerleader and a pioneer and moving right along.
Right.
But for me, as where I am, the social media is the same thing like I told you guys and I tell everybody, don't put your business in the street because you end up beating your meat.
Right.
Well, that's social media.
Yeah.
And I had some boys that was on the road, and we were with a lot of the stars.
Yeah.
And say I knew one of the stars. Mm-hmm. And my boy wanted to get with the star.
Right.
And I kind of hooked them up.
Yeah.
But that was their business. I didn't want to know nothing else.
Yeah.
But then the guy goes around and he starts bragging that he banged the star.
No.
And he got back to the star. Then the star tells me that this dumb mofo, blah, 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 blah.
Yikes.
And I said, yeah, I guess so. She said, he'll never get any more of this. And then the guy comes to me and go, hey, what happened? She won't return my calls and blah, blah, blah. And then I just go, did you do blah, blah, blah?
Run your mouth?
Run your mouth?
Yeah.
And then I reiterated that slogan, which I learned at Charles Drew Junior High.
Got it.
So if I'm in junior high school,
not
between 14 and 15, learning something that I still repeat in my 60s.
Right.
Okay? That was a very serious lesson to be learned. And social media is sort of like putting your business in the street, but that's what people that go overboard with it.
True.
If you're cool with it and use it to connect with people and to do and conduct business,
network,
but
stuff like
all
that.
of the stuff of putting your thoughts and your thing of, oh, I've been wrong, so I gotta report this on social media. This just happened to me. You won't see any of those posts from me.
No.
No matter what I'm going through in my life,
Right.
I know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Right.
But the social media thing, it's something that I gotta, I'll get better with and stuff and try to learn how. And you guys, you guys are the ones
more of
teaching
your conduit.
me.
Yeah. And I think that that's a healthy way to go about that particular journey, especially for yourself, because it doesn't really enhance or serve your brand to be active on social media. It's always a little more, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's more fly when the peaks of people seeing you on social media come from these clips with you in something like this, or on Uncle Vic. Shout out to Victor Brooks, Uncle Vic's show, or something like that. 1500 Sound Academy. They're like, we have to schedule your dad. We got Benjamin Wright. We can't leave out Wayne Vaughn. So everybody, they're seeing you, and they're, you're in a dope space. One, because he's studied approved, is what you say, Dad? You say studied approved? What's the words?
It's I can't even. I can't even
lost
no,
it.
wait. Let me see.
It's studied approved. No.
See, my brain won't even go to
No,
it.
Daddy.
It's like,
It's not it. That's not it. But
study. Oh man.
Oh shit.
It's what you have to do to. Anyway,
yes. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
My brain will not think.
It won't go
so
to
this
it.
Here's the thing.
That's a brain fart.
There's a lot of things logged up in here.
Yep.
So the log and the catalog, and then you go through the file cabinets, which is probably now on microfiche, which is probably now on the cloud. So, to access all this information. But at times, I can be some information to people that's just,
Not just your information, though, Dad. It even be, you got to think, me as your daughter and all of my homegirls, you even become an extension of a dad. We lived in Glendale, grew up in Glendale. We're currently shooting in the room that I slept in as a baby, as a young girl, and grew up in. And in growing up in Glendale, very ethnically diverse, some of my homegirls who didn't have relationships with their dads like I had with mine, I'm thinking of our Mega, and I think it was like a breakup, let's just say, or whatever. And she called me crying and said, "Why? Can I borrow Dad?" Absolutely. And I gave you my phone. And she just needed Dad. She needed Dad. She needed her dad. And all my homegirls know this is their dad too. My students who have those same sorts of, I want to have connecting moments, they know that this is Dad too. And so what I love about my dad, and he's about to tell us about where in the world of music he became that word I can't think of, studied, approved, something like that, whatever. Wherever it is, y'all about to learn that about him. It's really bothering me that I can't think of it, Dad.
I can't think, and see, when I go through that, if I think
hard, then I know it's going to go further from my mind.
But no, it already has from mine, so it'll...
Then I'm going to say studied, approved. We're making it up. So the thing is, what Dad also is talking about with social media is the fact that one of the other beautiful things about our platforms, all of his kids' platforms, and then his kids and his friends' kids' platform, like the Terrace Martins, Kamasi Washingtons, coming from Curly Martin, Ricky Washington, Bruner.
Ronald Bruner Sr.
Ronald Bruner Sr., who gave birth to, obviously, Ronald Bruner Jr., Thundercat, and the baby one, Jamil.
Mm-hmm, something like that.
The Jamil Bruner and everything. He was in the internet, the with Sid the Kid and everything. In 2015, all three of his sons were nominated for Grammys, and they had them written up in that. But it was for 2015, therefore it was the year 2016. But don't worry about it. The thing is, in all of these things, what you get now is not just the information. We're living in the information age. If there is anything that, goodness, you can throw a rock and find another factoid, another piece of information. I think what now, especially with the times that have been going on, at least, we're getting a sense of connection, and you're able to find your tribe. You're able to find people. You got people in Brazil. Look, I'm looking at the shirts over there. You got shirts from Brazil where there are people in Brazil who is extended family because of music. Uncle Vic, Auntie Julie McKnight, Carolyn Griffey, things like that. Like, these are people who are our extended family because of music. I think that's happening more often now with platforms like Raise It Up Y, where we look to spread the non-corny positivity through hip hop, raising self-awareness, and we're providing a sense of family, a sense of unity and love. That's not necessarily information, I guess, but it is great energy.
It gives great energy.
It's
And when
great
I was
energy.
saying information, it was for that. But then as shown a demonstration, it's just, how you live.
Yep.
And then you observe and you say, okay, I like that part. I don't like that part.
Right.
And you take the parts that you can deal with and it's good.
Yeah.
And you learn from all of those experiences. And you
So-
even learn from some of the bad ones too.
Absolutely. You learn from it all, in my opinion.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're an observer, some of that stuff that goes too crazy, I'm gonna say that was too crazy for me to even deal with.
Yeah, I'm not here for that. Where did you, Dad, find your groove in life? How did you get? Because you always be like, man, you gotta just groove. Don't be so. Just groove.
Well, I mean, it's everything comes from how you were raised, so it had to be coming from your grandparents, because they were pretty chill too.
Yeah. Papa
was more of the extrovert, and Mama was more of the introvert.
I would not have even seen it. I would have said the exact opposite from my place.
Papa was the out there, going, cool, everybody where he goes. Oh, Harvey.
My granddad, by the way.
Okay, then with Mom was like, oh, y'all don't, okay, it's cool. I don't take my picture, no, amen.
That's true,
And don't forget, one of the first songs ever written when I was like 6. I think I was 6. It was called Too Cool to Be Cool.
I'm too cool to be cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'm too cool to be cool. I didn't know that he wrote it then. That's something he used to say when we was kids. I didn't know he wrote it at 6. That's hilarious. Dad, tell them, I'm thinking about this second question I got for you. How does someone find their groove? But I want to use and maximize that question with talking about, you say, writing first songs at 6 years old. Tell them about your work ethic. Well, I don't even know if you call it that. Your discipline to learning the piano, working at Harry's Market right there in South LA, and how that got you to UCLA. Well, really LACC to UCLA.
Well, number one, my musical career got interrupted. So when I started on the flute in the 3rd grade, then something happened to our instructor. So I didn't get any more musical training until 13. And it was, so I had a nice long gap, but I always dug music and I was always fascinated with it. And we could have bought a flute right then and I would have been like jamming on the flute. But I ended up going back and playing the flute through college.
Right.
When I left, I don't know why I stopped. After college, I just stopped.
You got a flute down there.
I got a flute. Well, yeah, I can still do long tones and,
Right.
do stuff with it. But I don't play flute.
Got it.
But went to the piano. So I started late. So I was starting late and all my boys, everybody that had been playing, they were already like playing.
Damn.
Okay?
Yeah.
So by the time I was 16...
13 to 16.
I'm meeting all the cats. So, you got Mims.
Charles Mims.
You got Larry Nash. You got Nate Morgan. You had all these super bad piano players.
Absolutely.
I mean, Nate Morgan ended up going with Rufus Shaka Khan, and Larry Nash was out there with Bill Withers among
Wow.
us, first playing some of the first synthesizers.
Wow.
And I'm like,
And
you know,
Mims is
yeah, he produced that, but he was written that tune. Haven't You Heard?
What's Haven't You Heard, Dad?
Yeah, remember Kirk Franklin redid it. Patrice did it. Haven't you heard? Dun, 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 dun. Looking for you. Haven't you heard?
Okay, no, I got to go back. I can't believe that.
Looking for you.
Oh, that's what they're saying?
Anyway.
Do you know how many times I've created my own words to
Well,
that? I
that's-
didn't know they were saying, haven't you heard?
Yeah, that's Mims.
How funny is
So
that?
that's funny.
Oh, no, isn't Mims Afro Blue?
No,
Wait.
he arranged that. He didn't write that.
That's outstanding.
He arranged it on Diane Reeves. So I'm just saying.
That's outstanding.
Everybody in our circle,
Right.
you know, you had Michael Stanton, went with...
Who did he go with? Stevie,
He went with
no?
Stevie.
Yeah.
Then he went with Marvin Gaye. Matter of fact, he's on the front of the cover of Live at the Palladium with Marvin. That's when
Word.
GB, Gerald Brown was in that band.
That's our bass player.
Leslie Drayton was the musical director. And he was playing all the jazz because Marvin loved jazz.
Wow.
And, you know, your step-granddaddy, Lee Young Sr.,
Yeah.
Lee Young would running all of Marvin's stuff down, what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, so I learned from Lee about how much Marvin loved jazz. And then one time he did a special and he was playing those fourth chord, you know, he was playing all fourth chords and stuff. Now that wasn't no Motown. You know, Motown was
Right.
1-3-5, baby.
Yeah.
Don't
Real easy.
fake the phone.
Right.
Done. That's it.
Right.
6-4 position, root position. That's it.
Look,
Don't
you
even
know
trip.
everything he's saying too.
Well, I'm just saying, that's just from figured bass.
Yeah.
But the thing about the music is we had some bad musicians in town. So
Ray
I was
Pounds?
one.
Is that-
Raymond Pounds went with Stevie.
And that his son, Jay Pounds, is one of the producers
Yeah.
working with Dre
Right,
and all
right,
this
right.
different stuff.
No,
with
no.
us. So it's like everybody and their kids,
Raymond is-
they dad know
It's
dad.
like I know all the kids
Yeah.
of my boys.
Yeah.
Their kids. And Raymond was posting some stuff and telling me about his son. And I was so proud of him. I was like, man, great.
Yeah.
So we have a small knit community of this, but this is all the West Coast LA cats. Not to mention like Johnny B, John Barnes,
Yeah, right.
and all of them from the LA perspective.
John Barnes is Don't You Leave Me Alone. Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah, but
It's
then
a
that
couple of
Pointer
his other
Sister
stuff.
stuff and
Pointer
you
Sisters
know,
was his other stuff.
I think he was on So Excited, that piano solo.
There we go.
And Rudy Johnson on Black Jazz Records, the first label I ever recorded on.
Oh wow.
He was on that when I was 22. We did a record with Black Jazz. It's the same one. Gene Carn
Yeah.
and Doug Carn was on. And then Rudy Johnson. That's the one John was at. Calvin Keys and
These are all West Coast.
all West Coast. And you know, they brought Kelly Patterson over to Mama's house. She had the tune, If It Don't Fit, Don't Force It. So we had a lot of people. Lester Robinson used to come back
Outstanding.
back in the back. And he used to play with Horace Tapscott and
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So we had Black Arthur. We had musicians. And here I am. And the thing about this, the lesson of this, I was the weakest musician of the gang of musicians because I'm just trying to like, oh my God, I got it. So what's going to motivate you to practice?
Right.
Be the weakest mofo in the room. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Hey, Wayne, come on, man, we out here playing football. Hey, man, I got to practice. Bah! Wayne got to practice piano. He can't come out and play. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Wayne, we playing baseball out here. Come on out. I got to practice piano. Bah! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Baseball, I can't go play
And then all
football.
of a
I gotta
sudden-
practice. That was you telling yourself I had to practice.
Well, and because if I'm going to try to catch up, I never caught up to these bad boys my boys, I never caught up.
I love that.
But I had this mountain.
Yeah.
I had this way to get to where, and I said, well, this is my benchmark. And then, of course, listening to all McCoy, Herbie, Chick, Keith, everybody. So you hearing all this stuff.
Right.
And then, so I knew what I can do. So I had a band. Mm-hmm. I would get the baddest cats. Everybody better than me. And my thing that I brought to the band, well, without being, I could assemble musicians.
Sure.
So they would come and play for me. But then I would write in the band.
Write the actual music or the words?
No, write the music. Oh, no, lyrics was...
That's way later.
That's way later. I thought singing was squares, Listen, if...
Dad.
Just a singer? Wait a minute. Hold it. You just a singer, but you don't play an instrument? Get out of here. So, no. Until, of course, Billie Holiday,
right.
Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughn, Carmen McRae, we can go on, Lena Horne for the show business.
Sure.
And show tune kind of, but singing this
There are
stuff.
some study to prove people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that, I learned how to appreciate the singing, and that took me a whole thing, because the only concert I ever been was a Lighthouse or Shelley's Manhole.
Those are all historically jazz.
These are historically jazz clubs. 1608 North Cahuenga Boulevard was Shelley's Manhole. And now, Shelley's Manhole, one day we were working at Hollywood Sound, and I went around the corner. I was going down to the newsstand on Cahuenga and Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I said, what is Shelley's Manhole now? And right then, it was one of Wally Hyder's studios. So I said, okay, the music's still living. So after Wally Hyder closed down, and then later, I said, what is Shelley's Manhole now? And I walked, and it's Kitchen 24. That was where I seen
Seriously?
Thelonious Monk and McCoy and Freddie Hubbard. And I mean, I just counts as a musician.
That's outstanding.
And if you look at the back of Kitchen 24,
I can see it.
It's that upstairs part. That's what I'm
Yeah.
All Shelley's, baby. And
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So Kitchen 24, so all of Hollywood were some of the baddest clubs and studios. We were right there at RCA. There at Capitol.
You said Hollywood Sound. Can you were you guys at Hollywood Sound when the young Prince wanted to show Mom the song?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How did that story go?
Well, I'm just saying, I didn't know that Cavallo and them knew Prince at the time. And he
wasn't going by Prince at the time, right?
Oh, no, I don't think.
He was a little baby.
Well, no, he was just a little short guy.
Yeah, a little
short guy. And, he was trying to get this tune on the Emotions. And Mom had the tune and popped the cassette in. It's like I told you, the boy earlier. Prince was kind of a quiet, soft-spoken guy.
Right.
But when I popped that cassette in,
the music,
he didn't have to say shiznit.
Right.
Okay?
It was bad?
Was it bad? I wish I still knew what that damn cassette was. We had it in our possession, and Reese didn't want to do the song. He didn't want to do it. So he just said,
Reese is Maurice White guy.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, okay, I guess we got some other shit then. But
damn!
I was like, it's like this. You cannot hear all the music. If anybody tell you they can hear all the shit, they're lying.
Right.
They don't.
Something's
Matter
going to
fact,
get past you.
The more you do, the less you hear.
Wow.
The more you do, and don't get caught into chasing a hit record.
Thank you.
Then you more screwed.
Right.
So the key is be you.
Outstanding.
Be you, do you. But because somebody else got a song with this old fuck up drum beat and some old stuff.
Right.
That don't mean you got to do it. You stick in your stuff, but you add flavor.
Yeah.
That's of the market. It's just like, a great song never dies. Melody is supreme.
Right.
I can produce Mary Had a Little Lamb to sound like some Stravinsky or Funkadelic.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Exactly.
I could make it and literally it will sound like, damn, where those contrabasses come from? That's Arco contrabasses, nut. Ain't no pizzicato here.
Dad, I love that you I don't have to ask the second question. You already started answering, which was, how does someone find their groove? And what you said is exactly it. You have to be you. It's not turning into the next artist because they got a bigger name than you, or what they got. Imagine Prince came and brought that song to The Emotions, Mom and them, while you all were in the studio with Reese, aka Maurice White, aka the founder of Earth, Wind and Fire. And if someone like a Prince looks at the magnitude of Maurice White and Wayne Vaughn and The Emotions and says, they won't take my stuff.
Let me say this. No. I was just a sideman in the Brothers Johnson at this particular time, okay? I'm just coming to the studio. Reese said, we called, I called Rick Boy.
Rick Boy?
Ricky Lawson.
Oh.
And then Reese called Kenny Burke. That was in the 5 Stair Steps. Okay. Bass player bad.
Okay.
And then Reese called Paulinho.
Okay.
And then
what subject? What instrument?
He played percussion. He played on every record you probably heard. Damn near recorded like Gatson or something.
Got it. Just like Uncle Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Marlo Henderson and Roland Batista on the guitars.
Wow.
Who played on everybody's date.
Sure.
And then you had Tennyson Stevens, this boy from Chicago that plays ragtime to the Star Spangled Banner. He could play anything.
Outstanding.
So he was playing acoustic, I was playing Rhodes. And this was the day. So Reese just liked me because they had gone to the Greek Theater when we did the gig with The Emotions.
Oh, wow.
So I'm playing 6 keyboards.
Sure.
And I got to play like the most important parts.
Right.
So some of their like more jazzier stuff, like Tomorrow, because Tomorrow didn't have any lyrics. Tomorrow is an instrumental. It got turned into lyrics on Quincy's record.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Tomorrow was the prettiest instrumental tune on the Brothers Johnson record. Yeah, I think that was on the first record. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was on the first record. Anyway, that tune was bad.
Yeah,
okay.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a very beautiful
song, and all those sus chords and the blah blah blah. But the thing about it is
But no, I'm saying that to say that if a Prince, let's just say he knew the magnitude of everybody in there, if an early Prince, before he even goes by Prince, looks at that and hears that Maurice White of Earth, Wind and Fire doesn't want to do my tune on The Emotions and leaves and says, see, I'm not good enough. That wouldn't be him learning his groove. You learning your groove is still having that confidence in and within yourself to say, I believe in me.
No, he was very believable.
Yeah.
And he did some stuff at that time because he recorded that record, I think, with Head and all that.
Okay.
At that studio. So
the Hollywood Sound.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were doing... Leon Silvers was doing Todd Bridges, and he said, man, what I'm doing, I gotta go. So then Reese was like, he was on Arc Records.
Oh, right.
And then so he said, when Wanda, y'all want to do Todd? I was like, shit, I ain't turning out nothing but my collar.
Ain't Todd Bridges the actor from Different Strokes?
Yeah. What you talking about, Willis?
He's Willis.
He is Willis. No, he was a sweet.
I heard he was a really sweetheart.
Oh, no.
Nice dude.
His mama, Betty, all of them was so cool.
That's so crazy.
And Lisa was little because Lisa and Todd around the same age. So.
Auntie Lisa.
Yeah.
My dad's younger sister.
So he would come over to the studio. And,
no way.
Oh yeah, Todd was. We was back there trying to do this one song.
Who all have been to the studio? The studio, the in LA, South LA. We know that in his memoirs, Maurice White talks about Port parking his Porsche outside, and all of the hood dudes making sure ain't nobody gonna touch your car. He say in the memoirs he go back in the studio and then wait for Mama, my grandmother, his mom, to cook some food, and he say, and Mama Vaughn got the type of food that you gotta eat with your socks off because you gotta put your toes together. That's what he said. That's what he said in his memoir.
The food tastes so good it make you want to rub your feet.
And rub your feet together. That's what he said. That's what Maurice White said in his memoirs.
No, it's
you can literally find it.
But
and the studio is my dad's personal studio where he ended up recording the demo and writing the song Let's Groove.
Yeah.
Amongst other songs.
Well, this
and different stuff.
Very few songs was started outside of that studio.
I'm about to say the studio. When we say the studio, that's the studio that
which we
we're
called
talking
affectionately after the 24-track Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
But
and
we
then,
had to,
but who was back there? The DeBarges was back there.
The DeBarges.
El DeBarges and his family.
Well, no, El wasn't.
It
was the Marty and a couple of more of those boys.
Right.
So we had Ray Charles Jr. and his sister Sheila. God rest her soul.
Frankie Gay, right?
Frankie Gay, Marvin's brother that sound just like Marvin.
Sounds so pretty. Your boy.
Well, the Commodores.
Yes.
The Thomas and them from the Commodores.
Did Leslie New Birth ever go back there?
New Birth. I think they were back there.
Because you guys did more gigs. Y'all did gigs.
Yeah, we did some gigs together with Leslie, but he might have got a chance because this was after we started gigging. So if he did, then it would have been like a rehearsal or something like that.
Okay. Jeff Clayton, because he used to eat the nails.
Yeah,
and the Clayton
Jeff
brothers and the Jazz
and all
World.
that.
The Jackson brothers? No.
Matter of fact, this song what's my baby just passed away?
Who?
Betty Wright.
Oh.
We wrote a song back there, bad tune.
Yeah.
Never released it with Danny Sims and all that back in the day, but he was managing her. So, I mean, I put it like this. I can't remember. Don't forget all the boys, like all our musicians. So when Cha Meeks and James Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
They were the rhythm section for Chuck Mangione, went and recorded all those records with Chuck.
Wow.
That was my bass player and drummer. That's how
Carl Randall.
James Bradley got Adam Baum. Carl Randall, was the bad tenor man with Freddie Hubbard and Gerald Wilson Orchestra. And,
I'm just trying to think if there's anybody we haven't already named that's been back there.
Oh, no. We know. Wait. I can't.
I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you. I don't mean to. Uncle Vic and Auntie Julie, we already know y'all and everything. The Emotions, obviously.
Of course.
Chili Chill, even coming into the hip hop world.
Well, Chili Chill is how I
got in, right? Or just got to
a little
familiar.
bit into, because he was doing Ice Cube and Lynch Mob and all those people. And Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
shouts out
man.
to all this, NWA family tree.
Yeah.
You understand? So I like to give people that history because they see your name
it was
on just
so
a couple
many people.
things.
And don't forget the boy Curtis Blow used to come back there.
Oh my God.
See, that was the New York. I mean,
that's true.
I'm telling you, I do not remember until somebody comes and tell me.
Yep.
Because we did so many different type of things.
Yeah.
And
no Sinbad, huh?
Sinbad never been over
later.
there. But I'm just saying he never been over to the
studio.
Yeah, where it all began in 70. That was dope. In the early 70s. Cause we finished the floor of that room the day the astronauts walked on the moon in '69.
Seriously?
Yeah. Me and Mama, we would land the linoleum squares, and that's when the dude that Papa worked for, Virgil, at the Pasta House in East LA, gave me a Baldwin Acrosonic upright spin it piano.
That's the one that's in the house right now?
No. That was the first.
What is that?
That's a spin it too, but that was the first piano ever bought.
Wow. Outstanding.
At Goes Furniture on Washington and Central Avenue.
The historic
Wait a
Central
minute.
Avenue.
Wait a minute.
Where the jazz.
You gotta pass the Dunbar Hotel, the first hotel that blacks could stay at
could even
in LA.
stay. I knew that I knew Dunbar Hotel
Because
for something.
Our cousin, Papa's first cousin, had the house on 47th Street. That was a house that she had what would be a bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast now.
Or Airbnb.
Yeah,
with
sure.
single rooms.
Wow.
And she housed Duke and Count and all of those people over in her place that used to play at the place with Pygmy, Martin, and Markham, and oh my God. It's so much because Uptown Central, that's where Pop and them would hang.
Right.
Uptown Central Avenue was like Harlem in New York.
Oh, one more story.
What?
Can you tell the listeners about the Maurice White seeing me in the bassinet and you had me behind the 808 speaker?
Well, it wasn't an 808.
What was it?
808, number one, is a drum machine.
My bad.
A drum machine by Roland.
Uh-huh.
And it was a drum machine that we had before.
Subwoofer is what I meant to say, Dad. I didn't mean to say 808.
Okay. Well, the subwoofers.
I'm like, wait, I know that.
Well, we're in the big studio.
Right.
But anyway, the love of that day, you were just born.
Right.
And I was a hands-on pops.
Mm-hmm.
So where I went, basically y'all went unless your grandparents was keeping y'all.
Right.
Which I tried to do at any time I could. Keep these kids. Keep these kids. Keep these kids. So when we at the studio and we coming back, you know, we getting back in at 3 a.m. Y'all dead sleep. So 1, toss in the bed. Boom. Let's go down in the car and get the next one. Toss in the bed. And y'all would love to go. You kind of wake up and go, hair was kind of going. You say, am I flying?
Oh, gosh.
Oh. Yeah, y'all would get thrown to bed.
Okay.
But that just was a groove because I made every game like it was fun, even though it wasn't fun.
Right.
I made a game out of it. So you thought whatever you was doing that you had to do anyway, it was fun because I made a game out of it.
Yes.
So it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
But I brought you into the studio that day, and I always called you, when you were little, I called you Peter Lorre, the actor. And Peter Lorre was the actor that would go, I thought you were bringing me some frog legs. He would be like, in this crazy movie, right? But he would have, but he had those round eyes, and you had those eyes.
I have big round eyes?
You had those eyes, and only you and one of my babies, Dina.
Auntie D?
No. That's one of our friends.
Oh, okay.
She's a Filipino girl. And Dina Rivera.
Got it.
And she has the same eyes.
It's me?
Uh-huh. You guys have similar, but hers are even bigger around it. Yours went more slant now.
Yeah, like cat.
So, cat. So, but when you were little, they were like that. And I called her, I stopped calling her name. That's what I was trying to think about. I call her Peter. No, she's like, the sweetest, but that sweet baby. And I called her Peter. But she used to hang out with Reese and all of us back in the days when Thinking of You came out.
Oh, 80s.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Because she was a dancer on Soul Train.
Oh, wow.
The Filipino girl with the long hair down to her back.
I know that girl.
Oh, yeah, of course. Everybody knows
I know her off the show.
Well, that was our Soul Train. We had so many people hanging with us.
It was just that. Now I gotta go look at the damn videos of her.
Oh, she's a sweetie. But that was just
crazy.
The vibe of all of your
Okay, no, you took me.
family.
You took me to the studio.
But I took you to the studio. That's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Reese saw you, and like I said, he looked at you with those Peter Lorre eyes, and he said, and Wendy was like 1.
Yeah.
So you were none. And he looked at you and said, hey, Wayne, that one got something. I said, yeah, Reese, I think so, because you were like, you know, just the bassinet, you know, the thing that you carry with the holder like this. So then by that time, then you go to sleep, and then I put your little ass right between the two big speakers.
Wow.
And we pumping, and your ass would not move. You were just...
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then from all the way to you doing your first session.
At 2. No, didn't he ask you what my name was? He said, what you call this one? He said, what you call this one, Wayne? I was like, I like that. He said, I call it Wyann.
Yeah, well, you know.
You have a last question. Someone wanted to also know how side by side came about, but we can deal with that in a minute. But or maybe you can answer that and then answer this. But they want to know, a gentleman named Brian asked in January for you to be on this podcast. So I've been knowing that you were going to be on this podcast since 6 months ago. And your question there is just, really, he was saying he appreciates you, loves what you do, and, you know, what are you doing when we get to the new normal, was his question. And then a Greg off of Instagram, when we just did that Instagram live right now, he wanted to know, how did the song Side by Side come about? So I'm giving you both of those questions in case you can answer them however you'd like to.
Okay.
Very different questions.
I'll do Side by Side briefly.
Got it.
Because like I said, most of the songs came out of the studio. Everything that we did came out of there. The exception being Thinking of You,
right,
was written down in the dungeon.
In this house?
Yes.
Okay.
And sequenced and patterned. So all that was, besides the drums and the horns, were me. Everything. Because that was when the sequencer was just coming. So
right.
I had something, do-do-dum-dum, do-do-do-dum-dum.
Yeah.
That was some, I don't know if that was a Prophet 5 or...
That was the thing I was laying on in the cover of...
Yes, of your record.
In the cover of Wyann EP.
That's what that was. We've had the baddest synthesizers ever invented. Man, we had the baddest keyboards ever invented. But if I would have known what I know now, I'd have bought all mics. So anyway, that's another story. The baddest mics.
I love it.
Side by. But it's okay. So Side by. So Thinking of You, not Thinking of You. What's the other song?
Side by Side.
Side by Side. One day Reese called. He was getting ready to do whatever record that was on.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey Wayne, hey man, you want to write something today?" I was like, "Yeah, Reese, we could do one." So we got together like 4:00. Over to his house. And Reese had a nice little studio room. He had built and soundproof and everything. We never used it. We just go into this room. He has a Fender Rhodes. I'm looking out the window, you know, in the canyon and stuff.
Hollywood Hills, no?
No, he lives in like the Beverly Hills off of Beverly Glen.
Oh, okay. There. I see it.
So we go up. He was like down the street from Herb Alpert's club up there. Vibratos.
Yes, I know where that is. Yeah.
Okay, so he's not far from there. So we go over. Blank upper left-hand corner, piece of paper. Upper left-hand corner. I had no idea what we were going to do.
Love.
So we was doodling, and I'm doodling. Reese just messing around, doing something. You know, he always had his weights right there. So he was like, you know, pumping a little iron, and we just talking, and we might have smacked on something. And then I go to piano, and then, you know, I've been writing tunes in different keys. So sometimes to get inspired, I just choose a key. So a lot of times it's in, you know, the E minor vibe that's good for commercial, A minor, G minor. But then you got like Sunny and all them tunes, the C minor tunes. You know, so I was like, C minor. So I started hitting like minor 11 chords. And those feel different than like a regular minor 7th chord. You know, instead of hitting a G, you put the F. And it make that cluster sound. And then I started this vibe in that sound. And there was just something coming to me. And then, dun, 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 dun. It just... was the next thing. Then I was like, okay, wait a minute, what the next chord? So then upper minor third, da 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 da. Oh yeah. So I was trying to get a sequence of chord progressions together to make the melodic tendency. So then when I got the whole circle, then Maurice said, "Oh man, I like that." So he started, yellow legal pad, and we started going for it. And the whole song, the intro, everything, it just came out.
Wow.
So we had the song, and it was pretty cool. Just the piano, we just vibing. Electric piano and Reese, me, we jamming. But then we get to the hook, and he goes, "Ride, ride, ride, magic carpet, ride, 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 magic carpet."
Are you trying to go with it?
No. I'm saying, oh, okay, Reese. Because Reese, see, when you're writing, you never crush an idea.
Okay.
You got to develop it, let it go. Even if your brain says, magic carpet, and I understand, and the this and the that, but okay.
Right.
So.
Let it fly.
Let it fly.
Okay.
So we let it flow. It flew, it did its thing.
Okay.
Magic carpet was on, and it was on its way. So I said, okay, Reese, so, about 8 o'clock, whatever, about 4 hours of writing.
Got it.
I said, all right, Reese, we got this, man, so make a cassette. I said, I'm going on to the crib. All right, man, I'll check you tomorrow. Get to the crib. Honey, I think we got one. But you gotta put some lyrics on here. Change the hook right now. And do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. Here's the structure. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. So then I gave her the blueprint.
Okay.
Now you go with it.
Wow.
So then Wanda taking from what Reese was talking about.
Right.
And what we could use.
Right.
And then she started adding her flavor.
Oh, let me wait. The little pieces like that.
The little pieces and that. But because she had to change her verse to make it side by side.
Oh.
So then she made it side by side. She said, well, what about side by side? I said, oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Outstanding.
I knew it right then. So now I got to tell Maurice it ain't magic carpet no more. But now here's where when you writing, you don't give a damn where the hit come from.
Right.
You got to have the differential ear to know that's right, that's wrong. I don't care if I came up with it. Oh, you don't like my chord, you don't like my melody, or you changing my shit.
Right. It's not about that.
Those are the people those are the people. But in terms of when you're in a real situation, you trying to make this record happen.
Right.
Everybody's in a contributing thing.
Love it.
Maurice heard side by side. He went, oh man, I like that better. He said, you know what? It's coming from a female perspective. And that's the story of Side by Side. The rest is history.
I love that freaking story.
Beverly Hills Cop had just came out.
Yeah.
And the guy that was playing steel drums, that a boy, I don't know if he was from Trinidad or Jamaica or whatever. I can't think of his name. He did some beautiful guy, man. And I just hate I lost contact with him.
Oh, wow.
But the steel drum
That's
player.
what, under the solo.
That's the steel drums. That's like steel drums, like calypso music. Yeah,
exactly.
But that boy played him like he was Bobby Hutcherson or somebody.
Man, he killed.
Okay, he killed that
on
solo.
there. Damn.
So that was how that all came about.
That is also rapper Fonte from Ninth Wonder and all them, Little Brother, rapper Big Pooh. That is his favorite song of my dad's, just so you all know, in case you wanted a little hip-hop tidbit as well. And Fonte is the rapper that the big rapper Drake patterned himself after.
Really?
So the guy Fonte was in a group with Ninth. And everything, they all came up. So that's why that is, and he sing and rap and everything.
Oh, got you.
He also, I think, holds a PhD. So
he's a fly
dude.
some we're getting some craniums jumping off in these rooms sometimes.
Oh, no,
I
it's
go in
good.
and it's like, oh no, gray matter all over the floor and everything. I'm just saying, you got a lot of it going on, and I love the youth of America coming with knowledge and arming themselves with that, because that's one thing you can't take away.
That's what Papu said.
You can take away your diamonds and furs and cars and shiznit.
Yeah.
But you can't take away what's up here.
Very
so
true.
before you think about the obvious,
Right.
I want this, I want that, I want this.
Right.
You have to go and get this
Yeah.
as much as you can first.
Yeah.
Because this is going to help you be able to keep that.
That part.
Because the rule of thumb is fast money goes fast.
Absolutely.
So if you do a great amount of work within a year or two, and say for instance you make $800,000 in a couple of years, that can go like that,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like, how can you blow $800,000 by going and buying stupid shit?
Yep.
I mean, you can buy stuff a little bit, but you're not spending money when you invest. You're investing.
That part.
So don't get spending money mixed up with investing money.
Two separate
It's
things.
two separate things.
Yeah.
So I invested my money. I mean, how many Benzes and Roses and
drop
stuff
tops
could
and
I have?
Porsches.
How many cars did I sacrifice? Because don't forget.
I got this degree was one of your Porsches.
Don't forget.
This other degree is one of your
Hey,
Porsches.
I drove Big White for 6 years.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
And guess what?
Yeah.
I treated Big White like any other of my cars.
It's a restored not Cadillac.
No, that was
Chrysler.
the Cadillac. That was a 65 Chrysler.
65 Chrysler.
Your grandmother's car.
Yeah.
That I went and dropped the engine in after my Caddy got totaled.
Yeah. 92.
No.
90.
No.
What year?
1970.
No, Daddy. I'm saying when did the car crash?
On Warren's 3rd birthday.
So 93.
Yeah, 93.
That I knew it was something early 90s. I couldn't remember exactly.
Oh, yeah, no. It was a 70
Yeah.
rag top, fully developed, cherry to factory specs. And I seen some pictures of it. And,
Break your heart.
well, it doesn't break my heart anymore, but to look at that car, I just forgot how well restored and that paint job and how shiny.
It was bomb.
And
was
the
real
white with the blue piping on the leather seats.
It was fly.
With the leather dash and the leather wrapped steering wheel. That's why after I did all of that, and I had the coat hanger for the antenna, because I couldn't get the power antenna,
Yeah.
that thing drove all my boys crazy. Because the car was fully restored, and I was saying, I'll get that antenna quick enough. So I threw
Coat, right?
a
Coat hanger.
coat hanger, tore it up and made a hoop and threw it in the hole, and it made an antenna.
Right.
So I could play my radio. It worked, and I'm driving, and Levi and all of them would go crazy. Man, you still got that coat hanger in there for that? But no, the bottom line is a car. So I wanted to cherry out a car.
And
so
you
I
did.
did.
Yeah.
And it saved my life when the guy ran into me in the back of the freeway.
Yeah.
So,
Because it was one of those cars
It
made.
was one of those cars made like that, bent the frame of a 70 Caddy. So if I was in the Blazer or the Audi, I might not be here having your little doohickey. Okay?
I love my dad.
I'm
What are
just
you going to
saying.
do for the new normal? That was your last question.
Well, the
what are you
new
gonna
normal,
do?
that-
Or parting words.
Well, the parting words for this is this. Go and get as much information.
Yeah.
Stay away from the disinformation. Stay away from, I don't know, like how can you, even the internet.
Yeah.
You got to go study.
Yeah.
So your new normal, which is the old normal for me, is number one, building your immune system.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The new normal from a disease of what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, well, all this. Like, I got one of my kids that I'm proud of. Like, how about this? That's the most you heard me say proud of y'all.
Yeah.
But
oh, Dad, look. I'm not gonna open it.
no.
Look at the top.
Yeah, that's top. That's about to blow its stack.
So
that's
how do I burp it?
Well, you gotta do it softly, but do it with
Okay, I'm not
weight.
gonna do
But
it
here's
right
the
now.
thing.
Yeah.
This is contents under pressure. That's like when Aunt Jemima got real pissed off. And it was a picture. There's the Black Power movement days.
Really?
And Aunt Jemima was on the front of the oatmeal box. But instead of her smiling, she was like this. Head rag backwards. And she did this.
Oh, wow.
Straight out of the oatmeal box. No. Her fist went out of the oatmeal box.
No, I didn't know that.
And the thing said, contents under pressure.
Hey, I like that.
That's a cold one.
I was like, that.
Well, we got to find that picture. It was
yeah,
a picture,
no, they'll find
that
it.
was a picture from...
Gotta be what, 69?
Late 60s.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but
we went through that. So the new normal is this. So we're talking about...
Wava. I'm sorry, I showed it on YouTube.
Well, Wava is kombucha. It's
Immune
John.
boosting.
It's sauerkraut.
Yeah.
It's all of these things that will promote gut health.
Yeah.
So what do we mean by gut health?
Yeah.
We need microbes. We need germs. We need that stuff so our immune system can go, I'll kick your ass.
Anything negative in me, I will kick your
And your body will if you follow certain regimens like what? We are what we eat. So we're talking about wild salmon as opposed to farm salmon.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because wild salmon contains omega-3 fatty acids.
And
why do we eat the grass-fed beef? If you're going to eat any beef. I'm very
particular.
I don't eat beef
Right.
often, maybe once every 2 months.
Right.
But if I do, I won't touch it unless it's grass-fed, not grain-fed.
Right.
And the reason why? Because grass-fed cows that work out in pasture, they have omega-3 fatty acids.
Right.
But not corn-fed and not hormone shot-up fed.
No.
Because all the rest of your food supply, well, let me just make it short. Go watch Food Inc. and then we'll talk about it later.
Or watch episode 17 with my little brother talking about Wava life, and Warren actually ends up talking, talking about Wava. He actually breaks down like the neurotransmitters that are in your brain that are also lining all the way down to your stomach, and that's why your stomach is your second. What is it?
Well,
your gut is your second brain.
Well, that's why.
But Warren talks about it on episode 17. So if y'all want to know any more about that, make sure you look at it.
I'm flipping in my little book right now,
which
is Mind-Gut Connection.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you do that, your microbes and all that, we are more germs, bacteria than human.
Yeah.
Okay? We're more microscopic than we are human. Our gut has trillions of things that you would wash your hands to get rid of, and your body needs to keep you healthy and punching like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee kind of thing. So that's number one of the new normal. Yeah. So the new normal, which is our old normal, is to get healthy. Try to be healthy as possible. Yeah. And all these things will curb your diabetes. Yeah. It will curb your cancer. It will curb hypertension. And those things are what something like this, what is now to call it the new normal, that's what is threatening the human body. And that's why we've in this quote unquote new normal, because a lot of us get sick from this type of stuff. Yeah. Because
low quality foods with
low quality foods, the obesity, the
lack of working out, getting in oxygen.
Everything. You gotta breathe. You gotta drink plenty of water. You gotta keep your, even just for this thing, they talking about this, whatever this thing is. Yeah. You gotta drink water. You gotta drink hot teas. You gotta steam. You gotta sauna. If you don't do that, just breathe in some hot liquid. They even say gargling kills germs. You gotta gargle your throat. It's simple-minded from what I've heard.
Right.
Quote unquote.
Right. But
It's supposed to be a weak virus anyway.
But the us in how we're making sure that we proceed in all of this is making sure that we maintain seeking out the positive, because the positive is probably seeking out you. Making sure that we maintain a healthy mind, body, spirit connection. And it's also making sure that we do our part as positive, love, family, music, people. This is why we, on this particular podcast, raise your awareness, raise your vibes, and your capacity for love. And your capacity for love is your knowledge, because you can't love what you don't know. So we always, this right here is contributing to what we're calling the new normal. My daddy, I love you. I love you so much. I thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Well, I don't know what we talked about, because I don't remember talking about too much music, or too much cooking, or too much raising. All I'm gonna say,
you raise it up, Dad.
Well, no, I raised it up. Why?
But I want to thank y'all for having the time and the energy and the love to listen to a whole lot of game. That was a whole lot of game, and I'm going to send Chris the Brazilian song. That's going to be the do-a-diddy at the end of the episode, so that you all can hear what we told the scholar in the top of the episode. But I'm going to hit you with some Wyann's words of wisdom. Sign out the show after we just pay some dues. Make it real simple, all right? Love for the feedback that we're getting on all of these. I appreciate everybody, wherever we are, however we are in this life. And my dad talked about his not reading press clippings, and I have an amendment to that for my Wyann's words of wisdom, which is, don't read your own press clippings, but do know them. My dad, Wayne Vaughn, or Papa Groove, as some have called him, has given me hella game over the course of my life. Some of his and his dad's, my papu, my grandfather, were teachings that I put in lyrics for my first single, Wake Up. Came out on this very platform, April 2019. But today we're going to talk about another very prominent form of Wayne Vaughn game, and that is, don't read your own press clippings. When you'd get written up in magazines back in the day or newspapers, you'd often cut out the articles or blurbs in the publications that had something positive to say about you. These were your press clippings. Today we have Google. No longer do you run out to get Jet or the Source magazine to see what some journalist has written about you. We run to blogs, or even, that's not as common really these days. We kind of see what our impact and our musical contributions have made on the culture now by comments, by tweets and retweets. And these are way less credible. But we like to see what people have to say about us when we've done something positive. We relish in it. When our musical contributions chart on Billboard, or earns us some awards that we find prestigious, we herald those accomplishments. We herald those accomplishments because they feel good. It feels good to be recognized for your work. Imagine that you wrote a song in 1981 that, since the day it was created, has played on a radio somewhere in the world every single day. If you did that, your name would be Wayne Vaughn, and your song would be Earth, Wind and Fire's greatest hit, Let's Groove Tonight. Boom, 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 boom. For nearly 40 years since its release, this multi-platinum selling hit has serenaded airwaves for weddings, celebrations, and parties alike. Not only that, Wayne Vaughn wrote a third of EWF's highest-selling album, Raise. No pun or foreshadow intended for Raise It Up Why, however. Maybe it was a sign, who knows. However, but all of these accomplishments and more are the results of the pen of Mr. Wayne, Daddy Groove, Vaughn. Yet one of his biggest tenets to remaining level-headed in this industry is do not read your own press clippings. Why? Biggie stated the same sentiment differently by saying, never get high on your own supply in the 10 crack commandments. All of this metaphorically means don't become intoxicated with news about you. Don't fall in love with all the things that you do, because in the process, you may forget to acknowledge you. For this year's hip hop forum at Ujima in Pasadena City College, I asked the panel how each artist maintains balance between their person versus their persona. That's the type of struggle that you deal with when you herald too greatly the works of your hands, your mind, and whatever else, versus you, the supplier of said works. Being a part of the music industry can have your head in the clouds, relishing over each of your accomplishments and getting lost in the sauce between big hits and red carpet awards. When one does this, he or she can, and very often does, get lost in all the flashing lights, the glitz, the glam. It comes back to that lyric from Jay-Z and Lost Ones. Fame is the worst drug known to man, stronger than heroin. You could look in the mirror like, there I am, and still not see what you've become. So the question is, when the crowd dies down and the curtains close to the show that is Hollywood living, all you're left with is you as a person. If you've spent a lot of time investing into your persona, your stage presence, your pen name, your aliased version of yourself or your celebrity, when you come home and are just dad or auntie, or hey, I need you to wash the damn dishes and stop leaving your filthy socks on the fucking floor, you might not know how to adapt. So this is where Dad's words of wisdom place a lot of focus on. Don't read your own press clipping so your head don't get so big that your mouth writes a check that your ass can't cash. AKA, don't get ahead of yourself to where you take your God gift and pervert it with a man addiction called ego and go from confident to cocky and arrogant to the point where no one would want to work with you regardless of how famous or accomplished or talented you are. I want to extend this message from my father, though. I want to say, don't read your own press clippings. However, do be aware of them. Do know them. I say this to the over-humble, borderline underconfident creative who works for folks and doesn't realize his or her worth. I say this for the person who feels like their careers aren't going anywhere because they have more talent or better quality production, but they work for the first person to toss them $20. Knowing your press clippings, in this case, means knowing your worth. My father is one of the most humble men that I know in terms of the game. While he'd want to help everyone out with all of their projects, he also has to know that his price cannot be the same as an up-and-coming producer somewhere, because there's no way that the value of both of their outputs qualify the same. I see this discrepancy happen when someone is asked their price. And I've had students or family members tell me that they were asked to name their price on various job interviews, and not wanting to sound haughty or hasty, they've quoted prices for themselves that they thought the other person wanted to hear, not what they actually thought they were worth. Differently, I've experienced folks who've named a price that they thought that the person asking could afford, as to not outprice themselves out of the job altogether. My personal remedy to this is stating what I know, not what I think or believe what I know I'm worth. And that came with a lot of time figuring me out, gaining confidence in myself, and deciding what my invaluable time amounted to in dollars. And then asking, hey, so what does your budget look like? Doing things in this order lets the inquiring party know that you haven't changed your number due to their budget size, and it also shows that you understand what you bring to the table. So figuring out your worth, your price, is what I mean in knowing your press clippings. Know what you've done. Those accomplishments are physical data that affirm your price and substantiate why you would ask for what you would want to ask for on, let's say, your rider. A rider, for anybody who doesn't know, is a list of demands, not that deep, not meanly, but a list of demands that you present to any function, event, wherever you're going to perform, and they have to meet those demands in order for you to feel like you are going to do your job to the highest ability. Some people's writers are crazy, like, I only want yellow M&Ms and pink chiffon curtains in my hotel rooms. I don't care where I'm at. That's a little deep. However, another thing might be, I need to have healthy foods from which to choose. I need to be in a room that can accommodate me and my family if need be. I need to be, like, those are other demands that you might need to have, let's just say. Knowing your press clippings, though, it helps you determine your worth. Reading them once in a while, those things remind you about your worth. But reporting your own stats to whoever will listen, tweeting about your accomplishments with any amount of consistency, or doing clown shit like name dropping projects you've been a part of to substantiate your worth, yeah, that's all indicative of insecurities, and that's sucker shit. And if y'all know, like we know, we sucker free all 2020 and beyond, baby. So, before I go, you like that? I got some reverb, echo, delay. Yeah, don't even trip. So, you all know how much I love to do more than you knew. They got some new merch, man. I've been talking about being sucker free, and now I got a sweatshirt that says I'm sucker free. New merch from The Dude, THEDOUX.com, with my cousin, founder, and creative extraordinaire, awesome woman, Maya Smith, over there at I Love The Dude, ILOVETHEDOUX on Instagram. Y'all make sure y'all go and head over and get some of her products that are also still online and in stores with Target, Walmart, Amazon, Sally's Beauty, all right? Make sure you guys are going to make your hair as dope and as fly as it can be. And I know last episode with my mom, I bigged up my posse over at Ujima PCC, Pasadena City College. I just want to shout them out one more time at UJIMA PCC on Instagram. This is the place for which I work. These are the students I serve. And number one, again, congratulations to my graduates of 2020. Unconventional, yes, but outstanding still, I know. And then two, if you know any high school graduates or young people who may have taken a gap year and are thinking about going to college and are in the Southern California area, please look at pasadena.edu and possibly Pasadena.edu, Pasadena College, something like that. Go, just look up Ujima PCC, Google it, it'll come up, don't trip about it. Thing is, we are taking new recruits, and I wanted to make sure that all of you knew about it so that you can bless a young person with the opportunity to affirm their Blackness, learn themselves as a scholar on any college campus, and really fortify the first 2 years of their collegiate education, which studies have said if students get through that successfully, they'll go as high up the academic degree ladder as they choose, not just scrounge upon what they think they can do. So shouts out to Dr. Gina Lopez, our fearless leader, our Mia C. Walker, our great counselor, smart as hell. I'm Miss Y, so fly, Auntie Y, you know what I do. Also, Onette Zeleke as a part of the team, and everybody else that we're a part of. I just say, we deserve pats on the backs because we've championed all this change, and I don't know that anyone else has told us. So if nobody else tell us, I'll tell us. How about that? Right there. Wobble Life, y'all heard my dad go on and on about the importance of making sure that you have probiotics in your system, boosting your immune system, and giving you the things that your gut needs, your gut as your second brain. And my baby brother, his youngest child, Vaughn, has WAVA. This right here that I'm sporting is the Pomegranate Kombucha. It tastes bomb as shit. And I personally don't love the taste of kombucha because it's a little too for me. But my brother's recipes are very palatable. So I end up downing these hoes. So after this episode goes off, so I don't make a mess, just in case, because this, you see how it's inverted? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna pop. So I'm actually gonna make him open it. Yes. All right. And last but never least, for all things Wyann, you can visit WYANNVAUGHN, WyannVaughn.com, at Raise It Up, YRAISEITUPWY across all platforms. Make sure you keep in contact with us. Give us feedback. Subscribe, like, share, retweet. Just advise people that you think could use some positive family loving with good music and, fineness all over your screen. Yeah. Just refer them to our world. We would love to pour non-corny positivity with hip-hop all through their situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have survived meeting my parents from last episode 18, and this very meaty episode 19 with my big head dad. And I want to say thank you for allowing my family to speak to you and your family. And if you think it's appropriate, man, totally share with anyone, especially if, I told you guys, I rent out my dad, you understand? So if you ever have anyone or you yourself feel like you need that strong male presence in your life, please pop this episode on and get some of that love from a father. My mom was episode 18. Pop that on if you just want something to feel comforting. Have that mom. May have lost your mom. You might be estranged with your mom. Get some of that love in, man. I share my family with you all because music is my family. Love is my family. And I've been blessed with a lot of family in my life. And so I thank you all for rocking with us. You've been amazing per the usual. And please, as always, stay real.